We keep climbing that wall of worry as all of you gloom and doomers keep telling me all the data points as to why the market's not going to continue higher. Well, it seems to be continuing higher as you guys seem all nervous. Stick around, we'll talk about some things to buy and why it's going to keep going from here. Good afternoon on this Fed announcement talk Wednesday. I hope you're all doing well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Adam Kahn and I'm the Rational Investor. Before I get into the markets and some things to buy, do me a favor if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. I really appreciate the support. As you guys know, that helps YouTube's algorithm and other people find the channel. So if you're enjoying the content, I really appreciate that. So what happened today? I mean, really, if you listen to Jerome Powell's speech today and you paid attention to what went on, he really said nothing new. They didn't cut rates, which was what was expected. Why would the markets just take off the way they would, or the way they did? I think the real answer is because things are just fine and the economy is doing well. The credit card debt, the default rates picking up, everything else is really just things going back to normal. And the reason for the high credit card debt is there's been inflation, so people have more money on credit cards. It really is logical and makes a lot of sense. But if you go out and look around, businesses are doing just fine. There's plenty of people out and about shopping, buying things. They complain that it's more expensive than it was, which I don't like it either, so I understand it. But it's not like they're not living their lives and participating in the economy. So why wouldn't things be okay and why wouldn't the market go higher? On top of that, plenty of things had corrected in anticipation of the speech today, and I'm guessing they were expecting bad information based on CPI coming in a little bit hot and PPI coming in hot. So maybe the markets thought they might talk about higher for longer a little bit more, or the potential for other things instead of sticking with the plan of possibly 3 cuts this year. And to be fair to Powell, I think they've done a great job. I don't even know if there will be a landing. You can call it a soft landing, but things are okay and they're doing phenomenal. I don't see a big collapse. And again, that is not their goal. So all of the realtor people or the gloom and doom real estate people talking about this big collapse that's coming. A, why would you want it? B, why would you expect that they're going to raise interest rates and cause it? Because that's not their goal. The economy is slowing down, and it is slowing down slowly, which is the exact goal. And remember, a 2% inflation rate is still inflation. It is not deflation. It is not a collapse. And as you wish for that thing, because you think it'll make things more affordable, why do you think there would be this big collapse, but it wouldn't impact you in your life? Like your job is going to be secure, your income's going to be fine, but in the meantime, housing prices are going to collapse, interest rates are going to come down, the stock market's going to get really cheap, and it's just going to be this awesome solution of everything collapsing and I'm doing great. It doesn't work like that. The only way we run into that is if we have economic problems and people get unemployed and there's a big, all of a sudden, something that causes panic selling. Otherwise, we slowly, and things end up okay. And this could go on for a long time, which is why the markets continue to go up despite this wall of worry, which is what they say. So what do you buy? Well, it depends on what you're comfortable in terms of risk tolerance. The riskier you are, maybe you want something like crypto. Now, again, this is not financial advice. You guys need to make your own financial decisions and not listen to me. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing my experience and the things that work for me. But what works for me and what works for you are two totally different things. But anything, if you like things that are a little bit more stable that we've talked about, whether that's Pfizer and Dow and Disney or all sorts of ones, or a little bit more of the snowflake and things like that. It would be tough for me to buy more Coinbase here. It's already run up so much because of the crypto move. But to be fair, I think more money is going to pile into that space, which is why you see it moving. And it's also interesting to me when I overthink it and what they might be for the future in terms of an exchange. Depending on how the future goes, I mean, I don't know what type of products they'll handle on the site. Your mind can really go crazy as to how far it'll go. And, at some point, do we have Facebook dollars that they pay their employees in, and Amazon, and is it all blockchain and no longer traded at the current exchanges? I don't know. It's very hard for me to envision that, but I suppose it's possible, and it could all move to blockchain. They're even trying some. I guess what I read today is BlackRock is trying to do some real world versions of it, and maybe real estate transactions will start working on blockchain. I'm not sure which coins work with that, but I suppose it's possible. And what I really think is another 10 or 20 years, kind of like the internet, eventually it'll all make sense and we'll be using it more than we know. And all of a sudden it'll be like light bulb, we understand it. Also, keep in mind my time horizon is 10 years or longer. I'm very bullish, but I'm also always bullish. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe you guys are right and we'll have some crash, but I just think if day in and day out I bet against a crash, it generally works out better. Things go up over time, whether that's real estate or equities or even if you like collectibles. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to love baseball cards and I still watch them, and they've gone up in value over the years. It's just the market's changed like other things. They now have graded cards. But I love a lot of things. I think Meta's still a good value. They had great earnings. They added a dividend. I think they're going to continue to flourish. And I think with this year being an election year, you're going to have lots of money piling into their platform for advertising. Google just partnered. I mean, uh, their stock is taken off, and it was one of the ones I said at the beginning of the year that in terms of the Magnificent Seven, I thought was the best value. I still think it's really cheap here, and I think it'll have a very good year. I think Disney is finally on an upswing and moving higher. I think 3M looks good. And I know I recently was talking about Archer Daniels Midland, mentioning how with the fear out there that created good opportunity, whether the stock goes up or down. And it seems to be breaking out and moving higher again. I think once sellers get washed out of the stock, the trend then starts being up. It'll have down moves along the way, but they're going to be short lived and they're probably going to be small, which is what we've seen. It was interesting seeing how the market corrected because when I look at the stuff that's in the safe deposit box overall, the past few weeks it really didn't move much, but the stuff that I trade had a really dramatic move and fell a good bit lower before the Fed meeting and looked really scary. After the Fed meeting, it's had a huge correction back the other way and seems to be doing just fine. So, anyway, we'll talk about some more picks, some specific ones, what I like about them in the next video or the one after. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope it worked out real well and you made tons of money. But don't let the market scare you. Long term, stay invested. Don't sit on the sidelines waiting for the correction because maybe it comes in 10 years and when it comes, we're higher than where we are now. Like, that's just how my head thinks. Have a great day again. Subscribe, like, make some comments. Let me know what you guys think of the economy.